Narrated Asma bint Abi Bakr. The Prophet, peace be upon him, once offered the eclipse prayer. He stood for a long time and then did a prolonged bowing. He stood up straight again and kept on standing for a long time. Then bowed a long bowing and then stood up straight and then prostrated a prolonged prostration and then lifted his head and prostrated a prolonged prostration. And then he stood up for a long time and then did a prolonged bowing and then stood up straight again and kept on standing for a long time. Then he bowed a long bowing and then stood up straight and then prostrated a prolonged prostration and then lifted his head and went for a prolonged prostration. On completion of the prayer, he said, "Paradise became as near to me that if I had dared, I would have plucked one of its bunches for you, and hell became so near to me that said, 'O my Lord, will I be among those people?' Then suddenly I saw a woman and a cat was lacerating her with the claws. On inquiring, it was said that the woman had imprisoned the cat till it died of starvation, and she neither fed it nor freed it so that it could feed itself." Narrated Abu Ma'mar. We asked Kababab whether Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, used to recite the Quran in the Zuhr and the Asr prayers. He replied in the affirmative. We said, "How did you come to know about it?" He said, "By the movement of his beard." Narrated Al-Bara. And Al-Bara was not a liar whenever we offered prayer with the Prophet, peace be upon him, and he raised his head from the bowing. We used to remain standing till we saw him prostrating. Narrated Abdullah bin Abbas. One solar eclipse occurred during the lifetime of Allah's Messenger. He offered the eclipse prayer. His companions asked, "O Allah's Messenger, we saw you trying to take something while standing at your place, and then we saw you retreating." The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "I was shown paradise and wanted to have a bunch of fruit from it. Had I taken it, you would have eaten from it as long as the world remains." Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet, peace be upon him, led us in prayer and then went up to the pulpit and beckoned with both hands towards the Qibla of the mosque and then said, "When I started leading you in prayer, I saw the display of paradise and hell on the wall of the mosque, facing the Qibla. I never saw good and bad as I have seen today." He repeated the last statement thrice. Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "What is wrong with those people who look towards the sky during the prayer?" His talk grew stern while delivering this speech, and he said, "They should stop looking towards the sky during the prayer, otherwise their eyesight would be taken away." Narrated Aisha. I asked Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, about looking hither and thither in prayer. He replied, "It is a way of stealing by which Satan takes away a portion from the prayer of a person."